say we come from eugenics. I mean, that's just your founder. I'm just saying, not the popular transhumanism you follow, where you're flying around in jetpacks and live a million years and you're, you know, a robot or whatever. You don't get to go into the future. Your history is governed. Your history is dominated. You're not part of that. Comprende? Compute? Do you understand that? Can you computate that? I mean, does it get through to your brain that here's the deal. You got royalty and rich robber barons that had already dominated most of the world 160 plus years ago. And they already believed they were inbred and godlike and better than you and actually had syphilitic brains, most of them, and were inbred. So they were incredibly intelligent, but also incredibly vicious. And so it made perfect sense when scientists came along and said, we've got to create artificial stimuli. We've got to dump disease into the cities and put poison in the water to put pressure on people to kill the weak so only the strong go forward. Malthus was right 100 plus years before. This is in 1850. In the 100 years before that, roughly, he was saying put people in compact cities, put poison, put bioweapons in, put stuff in the water to get rid of the poor. There's not going to be enough room. They're a bunch of cockroaches. Get rid of them. And so these ideas developed hundreds of years ago by people who, to a man, had syphilis, because the wealthy were into women, obviously, and syphilis was ubiquitous among the prostitutes. They had syphilis, so they were criminally insane, and they were inbred, and they already had aggressive, successful genetics. So you add syphilis and inbreeding to successful, hyperdominant genetics, you've got what these people are building. And there's another side to humanity, the good guys, who have always been mitigating and holding back some of this stuff. But the New World Order is when all of this comes in. It's when all of this happens. It's when the trigger gets pulled on all of it. You know, the guys just put a, what was it, Associated Press headline up. It's everywhere. That, oh yeah, the court upholds that the relationship between Google and the NSA is secret. But it's not secret. It was founded in the late 90s by the NSA and by the CIA on record. Go look it up. The current relationship is secret, but the telecommunications acts aren't secret. They've got hubs at every building and facility with everything going over it. I told you that in '96 because it was in the Telecommunications Act, not because I was a rocket scientist. It's all there. The plan's all there. Okay, I wish it wasn't true. I wish it wasn't all coming true. I wish it wasn't all happening. But you're in a petri dish. You're under attack. 99.9% of you that think you serve the system, think you're on the winning team. A lot of you are smart and decided to join evil at a certain level, but you're not smart. I kind of went off into the transhumanism and the big picture. I mean, where this goes, why all this is happening, why you turn on the television and it's pure anti-family, anti-liberty, anti-freedom messages. I mean, that ought to scare the daylights out of everybody. And by scare you, I mean not scare you into hiding in your house. Call it scare you into action. People say, man, you scare people. You're trying to scare them. I think people that think that I'm trying to scare them don't get it. This is happening. I'm here telling you it's happening. Because I believe that when you understand that your children are being targeted with radiological, chemical, and biological and genetically engineered garbage to hurt them, you're going to get angry and start doing something about it. And that's what I've been doing for 17 years. And I have done an amazing amount of work, and it's had an effect, and so have you. But we need to understand that we've got to grab the New World Order by the arm, politically, economically, socially, and pull the veil aside. That means pull their arm out of their socket. Because they've got their hand over our eyes trying to keep people from waking up. We got to grab them by the arm. And they're going to squeal. They're going to complain. They're going to say we're wrong. They're going to act like we don't have power. They're going to stonewall us. We got to go, you know what? Go ahead and stonewall us. Oh, you feel that? Oh, you don't like that, do you? Watch this. And just decide to pull their arm out of their socket. Okay, that's what I liken it to. Rip their arm out of their socket. Don't stop. They're not going to give us quarter. We're not giving it to them. And the weapon system of the truth is a weapon system that will destroy our enemies. Because because their own servants and minions are compartmentalized, and most of them think they're doing a good job. Higher level are evil control freak mercenaries who think that they're on the winning team but don't understand this is the total destruction of humanity as we know what we're talking about here. This is inbred psychopaths given godlike power, playing God, whose prime directive is to kill, steal, and destroy. Whether you believe in God or not, I'm telling you, that is who they are. That is what they stand for. Whether it's true or not that there's a spiritual entity behind it, doesn't matter for those of you that don't understand. It's real, it's there, you must admit it. What is in the Bible is now unfolding. That's what matters. What matters is this is happening. What matters is we are entering this zone. What matters is history is being decided right now. Now, let me just read to you. I've never done it before on air. I'm doing it today. I'm not going to comment on these headlines. I'm going to just read them to you. This is not even the most important news I'm going through. This is just right to left. Official, Iran would take action if U.S. attacks Syria. Reuters. Al-Qaeda leader strikes deal with U.S. Saudis to send 5,000 fighters to Syria. Yemen jihadists personally trained by bin Laden. Paul Joseph Watson. 19 signs that Israel and Iran are on the verge of war. The American dream. True or psyop, U.S. won't ratify UN treaty that could have outlawed civilian firearms ownership. NATO terrorists to target Syrian civilian airports. Political stack. Hill poll. Voters say second term undeserved. Country is worse off. Obama is behind in polls across the board. Emanuel cutting short trip to Democratic National Convention. The rats are leaving the sinking ship. John King, to win, Obama must make history again. Yeah, and what do their advisors say? Staged terror attack. Now Obama must build the case for government. Gideon Reichman, who openly calls for world government in the Financial Times of London. He's their foreign editor. He goes on to admit what's destroyed Obama was admitting he's a Marxist and saying he hates business owners. Obama, and he's saying he's got to own it now and admit that he believes in big government. Very disgusting. That guy's a Bilderberg Group member, by the way. True nasty one. Obama camp not worried about vetting Bill Clinton's speech. Yeah, because the Clintons run the Obamas. Reporters scolded by Democratic garbage police for not throwing them in the proper recycling area. Yeah, that's the new priesthood. Record high Labor Day gas prices greet Democrats in Charlotte. Hope you enjoy your anti-energy policies. KCBC exclusive. California Dem leader compares GOPs to Nazis. Joseph Goebbels. And it just goes on from there. Paul Ryan, you are not better off now. No, because it's a design plan. Ryan compares Obama's record on economy to Jimmy Carter. Bingo, that was the plan all along. All scripted, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, even some of these guys don't know it. They're that delusional. I don't think they actually have the power. Okay, let's continue here. Obama, military option remains on the table. Ynet News out of Israel. Chuck Norris threatens 1,000 years of darkness if Obama wins. That video's up at Infowars.com right now. Let's continue here. Miss Obama's second-term agenda, impact nature of food in grocery stores. But not pesticides, not hormones, not GMO. No. Sugar and fat is bad. Not even saying good fats versus bad fats. Just the government's going to run what you eat. You see Bloomberg with the whole nanny state agenda. Here's another nanny state. Deaf preschooler in Nebraska told to change his sign name. His name is Hunter, and in international sign language, it's the sign of a gun. You can't make the sign of a gun or write about guns even in high school or they arrest you. That's total thought crime beyond 1984. Look what we've become. Stanford scientists cast doubt on advantages of organic meat and produce. This was in hundreds of newspapers last night and today. Total propaganda. But you read the fine print, they go, oh, but that's not counting pesticides, herbicides, chemicals, synthetic vitamins, all the rest of it, depending on what it's grown in. And, of course, hormones. No, organic is bad. You don't want it. It's a ripoff. Don't eat it. A McDonald's cheeseburger is the same thing as a wheat organic with grass-fed beef. They actually say all that. They say grass-fed beef is no better than feedlot fed on offal, other ground-up dead animals. Total baloney, but they don't don't care. Study sees no nutritional edge in organic food. That's USA Today, New York Times, Stanford scientists. Oh, they're the ones that learned how to control hurricanes by '67 and certified it. Cast doubt on advantages of organic meat and produce. Total eugenics facility. This is as important as DARPA-based MIT. Organic food no healthier than non-organic study. Reuters. But it's funny, I pulled up the articles here where, in fact, I had that in my hands, but I don't see it. You guys may want to check that, where I sent you the articles where Monsanto at their own facilities, same thing with Bill Gates' facilities, eats nothing but organic. The Chinese elite only eat organic. Look at these articles. Government threatens jail time for growing produce in front yard garden. New articles on that. EPA changes rules to allow more toxic cleaning chemicals in mainstream food. Live viruses being sprayed on mainline store-bought beef. Don't believe me, just type viruses sprayed on, it eats the bacteria. I mean, it's a vaccine they spray on the food. I mean, oh, but it's no problem, no different. Okay, boom, let's move on to the next stack. I'm into 3 stacks now. We're on to stack number 4 here. This is drudgereport.com. Top right-hand side was the top story yesterday. Stick it. Now TSA testing drinks purchased inside airports. Told you about that a year ago, but now they're doing it in all airports. As you walk out of the Starbucks, in front of them, they don't go test the Starbucks in there. It's meant to be nonsensical. They come over and have everybody have their water tested, their Starbucks tested, their food tested. They stick little sticks in there. They're getting you used to medicalizing. Federal funding to take your blood at highway checkpoints. Federal funding to have them stick stuff in your drink. I told you this 14 years ago, but they never implemented it under executive order to take blood to get a driver's license. Now in D.C., they give you a free driver's license if you let them take blood. Next, it'll be mandatory. Just setting up the idea of a clinic. That's all this is people in gloves. Well, they dress kind of in a medical outfit. This is admitted. Psych warfare. It's a domestication process to get you used to them. Shining a laser on your face to see if you have the flu or a laser thermometer. Sticking things in your drinks, touching your breast, running their hands through your hair. When my wife runs her hands through my hair, I get tingles. When my wife grabs me, I get tingles. You know, the woman I love and I've had 3 children with. But they're like, oh, it's no big deal to have a stranger grab your genitals and squeeze them. It's normal to have Congress people having their genitals grabbed. Jesse Ventura's bad because he doesn't like his genitals being grabbed by a laughing person at Atlanta airport in front of me, checking to see if his testicles are his testicles. This is what we've become. Total psych warfare. Hiring TSA, running their backgrounds, finding out they're felons and hiring them. And now, checkpoints at public events becoming normalized. Both linking to Infowars.com articles. The video is incredible. It's since already rolled off the front page of Infowars.com. Just go to drudgereport.com and it's the right-hand 2 top stories. Watch that video for yourself. And the people get off on it. It's a ritual. The TSA walks in, they've got their water, their Starbucks right there, at the seats at the airport. They've gone through the checkpoint. The TSA walks over these women with these satisfied looks, just getting off on making people comply. People that wouldn't have been able to have been trash collectors. Because that's a hard job. People that wouldn't be able to hold a job doing anything. Now they get to be minders. See, these are women that should have had kids. Women that should have been running a household, in a role that would have fulfilled them. Instead, and this is how it is, the new nanny state is these women who guaranteed never had kids. And they come over and you're now their child. You're now the 2-year-old. And these yuppies just with pleasure smile and go, here's my water. Here's my Starbucks I just bought 20 feet away. And then, oh, yeah, government, with dirty gloves and who knows what, stick something in my drink. Get used to something being medically done. Stick something in my drink. Again, total psych warfare. We're going to be getting more into that. Activists put on terror watch list to prevent him protesting DNC. And I looked at the links this morning on the mainstream news, WCO TV and others, WSOC TV, and I couldn't find why they made the fake arrest. Usually they put fake bullets in your bag or claim you did something to drag you off if you're on the no-fly list. He was going to protest, and they just said, well, we arrested him, and it shows because protesting is listed as terrorism. And Paul has their official form in here, and it says attacking the Pentagon. They call it low-level terrorism, so they give a high-level terror attack a low-level name. IEDs. So if you attack the Pentagon, that's small. IEDs is low level. Hate crimes against racial groups. And then they just add protest.